Today I'm taking out my brand new native hammer for its very first real mission. Not something in the driveway, not the living room. I'm doing research demo and actual on the water shakedown here in Southwest Florida. If you want to know how fast this thing really is, how solid it feels under your feet, if it's even comfortable to fish, I've got the answers. And I'm breaking it down piece by piece, from the setup, the pedaling, the paddling, how it turns, how it handles chops, the stability, the little quirks that native snuck in, and of course, our very first fish on the hammer. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what this kayak does well, what it doesn't, and whether it deserves a spot in your fishing missions, or just a quiet retirement as expensive garage decor. Alright guys, first things first, when it comes to this whole transporting it versus the Titan, which I'm going to be comparing a lot during this video if I haven't already said that, is rod storage. The Titan had these really cool ports in the front, probably nobody used, but I did whenever I was transporting my rods. So that's a little bit of a bummer to lose those, but how else would you get them in on the hammer? There's just no way. So understandable, but just something I noticed. I will say, when moving this wheel system, it fits beautifully in here with that flat, wide open deck space. I don't have to break this thing down like I used to, which is a big pain point for this system. I always hate breaking these things off like this and folding it up all origami style in the back of the Titan. I can just lay it in, it fits perfect, like it was almost designed for it. I noticed too, when I was putting on all my straps and putting this thing into the truck bed, it doesn't sit as high. That's something I'm going to talk about when I'm in the kayak as well, but it doesn't sit as high as the Titan. And therefore, you just have, you can get to so many things. When the Titan, it felt like I was going all the way into my truck bed. Just really deep storage on the Titan, which is a good thing, and kind of a inconvenient thing. So is the hammer light enough that you don't need a cart? You still need a cart. All right, we're gonna go ahead and remove it from the truck bed with the same stuff I used to do, or leave on the Titan, which were the drive and the seat. I would usually strip everything else off. I can tell you right now, it's already gonna be lighter, like so much lighter. I could one hand effortlessly move this thing in and out of the truck bed. And that's a big deal. That is a big deal, folks. Is this what normal kayakers deal with? Something that was always an issue with the Titan was clearance of the strap, because of how wide the Titan was. On this cart in particular, you can see it's got a little bit more clearance. But I can tell you right now, if I had the sand wheels, they will probably still rub. We'll bring them out and do a full proper test on unloading, loading, when that video comes out eventually. Man, it's just so much lighter. The front end, no issues. It's still heavy, don't get me wrong. But it is nothing compared to the Titan. Put it somewhere nice and chill for right now. We have a really negative tide going on right now, guys. Usually the water's up to here. All right, so this is basically how we're gonna have it kind of set up, guys. I will quickly go over everything. So I did notice when I was putting this extra rod holder on, I don't know where I'm going to put it. They offer you 3, and I don't really think you need much more anyways, but so I'm just going to put my net in this thing. It's kind of what I was doing before. It works. I should be able to swivel this goofy seat almost all the way around. Our cooler, we're going to have back here. Our tackle crate, gets this out of the way so you can see. We got our tackle crate right here. Should be easy to get to. It's going to be a little bit further back than where I normally had it on my Titan, but this is where it's technically designed to go. So, going to have that right there. We have our micro anchor on the back, and this is where I think I'll give my first what the hell were you doing native. So you'll notice right off the bat, it's in the middle of the kayak right now. I don't have this thing registered yet, so I'm going to be eventually putting a motor on in the middle, but for right now, the middle is the only place you can put that has the bolt pattern for the power pole micro anchor. On the Titan X, you could have put it on the left, the right, or in the middle. And for whatever reason, Native decided to put this 3-bolt pattern right here on the outside rather than a 4-bolt pattern. I don't know if it's because there's this little cut for the hand. I don't know. It doesn't really make any sense to me. On the Titan, I used this old track to mount. You can see I removed the rubber already in anticipation of putting this right here. It doesn't fit. And of course, Native's working on a fix already. They're making a $90 plate that can go right here. How convenient. Why, Native? Why? Micro power anchor, or whatever the hell they call this thing, it goes right here for the time being. When we get a motor and when Native finally releases this new $90 piece of plastic, we'll buy that because, you know, we just love spending money. Going through the rest of the kayak, obviously we don't have anything in the battery compartment right now, but we will have battery in there. Moving up front, we have our Native seat cushion that came from the Titan X. Plenty of cheek time on this already, so it's broken. You'll see right here we have our 3600 tackle boxes, whatever you want to call them. And you'll notice too, I'll get down right here, and the Titan, it was flush. Not so much on the hammer. It's a little bit tighter. That bungee is extra tight because I have some junk in there that I didn't want to fly out. All the tools don't sit as flush as the Titan did. You have less deck You're also going to have less deck space underneath your junk drawer. It barely fits it pretty much just fits my fish stick ruler, and that's it, which is fine. That's all that was really underneath there anyways. You can put all your other junk in this junk drawer, including a hot dog. We'll get into that later. Moving up to the front compartment, you'll notice that it's really tall, but it's shorter, more narrow. Like this tray right here, that is not nearly as big as the Titan X. You have tons of volume underneath though, holy cow. Some leftover plastic. But it stores pretty much everything the same. There's not really much of a difference here. I can fit everything that was in the Titan X or in the hammer, no issues. So I like it. I really like this though. This is nice. You got it's raised up here a little bit more where I'm gonna put some navigation lights. I love this little cushion for the precious X drive, and these power plates on the front and back, awesome. Eventually this wire that's plumbed to the X5 360 cam will probably come out right here. I'm gonna buy a little yak power plate for it. And then last thing is my secondary power pole up and down switch right here. I used to have this, they had a power plate on both sides of the Titan. I had that mounted just with some big old pelican just landed right there. I had that mounted originally on one of the power plates just with some double-sided sticky tape. I redid it on redid the sticky tape and put it just on the seat. So when I move the seat forward and back, it comes with the seat and hopefully never comes off the seat and into the water. But that's gonna be the quick setup, the initial setup. We're gonna definitely change this. There will be a video like an unloading, loading video. There will be a video that kind of goes over the full setup when I finally get it all rigged the way I want it. But before we get it out on the water, we gotta do something special for this baby because it's her first trip. All right, time to christen the hammer. Now, if you think I brought some fancy champagne, you haven't been watching this channel long enough. Welcome. We're pretty absurd here. So what we're gonna christen it with today is some White Monster, the drink every kayak angler lives off of in these early mornings. So here is to big fish. Bing. A Bang. Better lower back, and Boom. Hopefully staying inside this sucker all day today. I think they smash it against the side of this thing usually. Whoa. Yeah, there we go. Cheers, fishing buddies. May we catch big fish, have fun, and stay inside the kayak today. Let's get on the water. I adjusted the tension on the rudder, and I did a little quick steering check before I took it out. There was a lot of play in the steering. I don't know if that was the setup from the dealer because they kind of pre-assembled this thing for me, but it was kind of cheeks. I had to readjust everything. There's a channel that's promoted by Native. I'll put a link to his channel in the description, but dude's actually really, he's got like some great stuff. And I took his advice on setting up the rudder controls, and it's actually really good. All right, there goes the Titan, or the Hammer's brand new X-Range. All right, this is always the sketchiest thing, right? Getting in and out of the kayak. How easy is it gonna be? My biggest concern is this, dude. Native, put some resistance on this thing if you're gonna make it a 360. I don't want it to just spin like so easily. I'm not even that big of a guy, and it's gonna spin a bunch. So let's go. Oh, really simple actually. So I can tell you right now, just from doing this, right? Sitting here, taking off the hip waders, putting on my shoes, you can feel the lean a lot more than you could on the Titan. Titan didn't matter. It didn't matter what you were doing, you weren't moving. But I also attribute a lot of that like uncertainty to this 360 seat. The Titan had a lock on it when I bought it used. So I didn't have to worry about it rotating ever the entire time I owned it. But I would assume it would be just as annoying on the Titan. All right, so she definitely blows into the wind like the Titan did, but it's a long one. But I mean, right away, instant response time. The Titan would have gone past this mangrove before it started finally turning. And that's not because the steering was out of calibration or anything like that. That's just the way the Titan was. I am turning quite literally twice as fast. All right, a couple other things I'm noticing right off the rip that I talked about in my first video is that this does not sit nearly as high. I feel like I'm sitting about the same height as the Titan, but it's not as tall on the sides right here, and it is also just not as tall. I mean, this on the Titan was, I'm not even joking, it felt like it was knee, like basically up to your knees. So this is already really low. Like if you were skipping under a dock, Granted, I have a 360 cam, but if you're skipping on a dock and you needed to get that low cast, you have even less obstruction right there in front of you. That's huge, man. That is a big plus right there. It does mean that your pedals are gonna sit higher. This seat doesn't seem to adjust any lower. If you're a bigger dude, I can see how this would be like riding a tricycle, you know? All right, guys, good test right here. You forgot something at the truck that you need that's important. For me, it's my coveted Meat Canyon hat that I use every single episode. Keeps the sun out of my eyes. So we're not too far away from the launch. Let's do a speed test and see how fast we can get back. Ready, set, go. We gotta go about, I don't know, maybe 40 yards. Tell you right now, there's a lot of jostling, but that's mostly because of this seat constantly moving, kind of going left to right. It seems to be cutting through the water a little bit easier, but I'm still feeling a lot of friction. Gotta go all the way over there. Whew, 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 whew. I work a desk job, so I'm not in very good shape. So, how far? Full sprint pedal? Not very far. I'm pretty weak. But I'll tell you what, that's probably my pole wasn't.
Oh my God.
That's probably where.
Oh, hell.
It already feels a lot smoother with that pull up. Sorry, I don't know if I'm gonna do another speed test. All right, guys, if you can see, we're definitely getting into the shallows. I want to see how shallow this. I don't think the prop will go any shallower than any of the other native kayaks. We'll go until we run it into the ground, and then we'll test how fast it paddles. It's definitely getting shallower. I'm waiting. There we go. We finally hit the depth. All right, we finally hit ground, guys. It took us about there on the kayak, if you're curious how deep, which I want to believe is, I could go a lot shallower with this prop drive than I could with the Titan. Go ahead and pick it up. She held up really well, as expected from a prop drive system from Native. Let's see how fast I can paddle. I don't use these things a lot, so if I look like an idiot, what's new, right? So first thing I'm noticing, guys, is that the width of the kayak is not nearly as big as the Titan. Therefore, I'm able to articulate the paddles at a deeper angle. Like on the Titan, I had to like reach, and it kind of made it, I don't know, inefficient. This is still a bit of a slog going where I want to go. I'm going to go up to that point up there. I kind of want to like go like this. But compared to the Titan, where I just would not be going anywhere, because I got the wind and the current coming towards me. If I was doing this, I was just gingerly paddling to in these same exact conditions on the Titan, man, I would not be going anywhere. I'd probably be going backwards still. So the fact I'm able to push it forward still pretty effortlessly, like I'm just using like the tips of my fingers on this, is pretty big. I'm usually like this is what I used to do with the Titan. I used to just stab the ground or do the ski pull method. In my opinion, this is way faster. Whoa! All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and test stability while we're out here on the shallow flats, just in case I go in, it's not too deep, and I can recover any gear that might go for a swim as well. We're gonna start with the most brutal test you can on a kayak. I've never seen anybody do this test whenever they review kayaks. I think I'm the first. And I'm gonna dub this test the hot dog test. You'll understand more, fellas, when I get to it. Essentially what you do is you get yourself a Frank. This is an average size Frank. It's cold. The gas station lady looked at me really weird when I asked her for a hot dog at 7 o'clock in the morning. That was cold. But you get yourself a hot dog, you come out here, and essentially what you're gonna do is you're gonna position yourself in a manner like this, compromising one, right? Because you're testing the stability, right? Next is you're gonna put your hot dog on the side of the kayak. You're gonna lean. If the hot dog, you wanna hang it over, you know, you don't wanna get any hot dog water in your kayak. But if you can hang this sucker over with, you're gonna need one hand free at the bare minimum. Ooh. But if you can, oh, I don't have the power, I have the power pole up. I'm cheating a little bit. Or I have the power pole down. But if you can lean this thing over and your hot dog doesn't fall in the water, you're doing pretty good. It's definitely got some potential to roll. But it did not let the hot dog fall in the water. So, I would say, you know, Mythbuster style, it's plausible. But be careful hanging your hot dog over the gunnel. All right, guys, so we're gonna go ahead and do the rest of the stability test, stuff that you see on everybody's YouTube channel. How rocky is the kayak? It's pretty rocky, man. Like, look how deep that side goes. That's me really pushing it, but like, getting up, getting down, doing the boot scoot boogie. I'm feeling pretty confident. You just have to remember where your center mass is on this thing. If you start getting way too far over, you're doing that hot dog test. You got to be really cognizant of what's going on so that you don't go in. But I would argue that it's like, it's not too bad, dudes. I would say this is probably pretty average stability for a kayak. I mean, I don't want to get my gear wet. If I didn't bring all this stuff, I would just go ahead and push it until it rolls, but I don't think you're going to ever get yourself in a situation where you are going to do such a thing. And if you are, what the fuck were you doing? Something hit it. There we go, guys. Our first fish. Oh, I'm stuck. Our first fish on the native hammer. No, chill. First fish on the native hammer, guys. Let's go! Little sea trout. Thanks for the catch, buddy. I don't think you realize how many people are gonna watch you. Flop.
Oh my God.
Another little fish, little trout. I mean, this one's a lot bigger. Oh yeah. 16-inch. Again, we could keep them, but. All right, we got our smallest fish on the hammer. Woo. But he's legal. We're not gonna keep him though. Oh no. We got a trash can slam today, guys, pretty much. We got the catfish, the jacks, and the ladyfish. Yay. All right, guys, let's put this thing away. Right away. Just picking it up off the water. There's less sucking it down. All right, guys, you'll notice that I dragged everything up with this kayak just now. I didn't even think about it, but I didn't remove all the extra weight, which would be like the tackle crate, the cooler, or the micro pole anchor. Just tugged it up, and honestly, it was still lighter than the Titan. It felt like it was still lighter than the Titan. The Titan is just like so heavy. So it felt in my head like I was like, dang, this thing is still heavy at the end of the day. After you've been fishing all day, it still feels really heavy because you're kind of cooked. But then I was like looking at it and I was like, I didn't even take everything off. Up. Still heavy, don't get it wrong. She is still heavy. But that was way easier. Not even out of breath. Titan, you'd be sucking air like something fierce. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for this episode. I appreciate you so much for coming by, hanging out with me on this maiden voyage in the native hammer. If I had to give it a rating out of 5 hammers, I'd give it like a 4.4. It does so many things right. The X-Range pedal drive system, phenomenal. The way it just folds up and gets out of your way, it gives you so much space, it's just awesome. I like the deck layout. It feels snug, but not too, it's not like, I don't know, you feel like you have more room. The shape of it is really slick. I just love the looks of this thing. It's just so, I don't know, new looking. And the back is just so, I can't get over this. This is probably like standard on so many other kayaks, just having a flat bed in the back. I love it. After having that weird geometry in the Titan, this thing is awesome. The only things I do not like, and I've said it probably a dozen times in this video already, is the seat being a 360 seat. Native, please just bolt it to the frame. And then give us the option to upgrade to the 360, whether we want it to just free swivel or we have a locking 360 option also, whatever you want to do. But I'm not a fan of this. I don't really use it. I don't know many people that have been a fan of it. So that's my 2 cents on that. And then also, this is your most expensive kayak, Native, and you didn't put the plate on the back? Why? I feel like that's kind of messed up, man. Especially because you're gonna charge me like $90 for a piece of plastic. I saw it on the website. And I have to wait for it too. It also didn't even come with the kayak when it came out. So that's kind of a bum deal on those two things, but everything else, guys, this is a phenomenal kayak. I really like it. I think you'll like it too. I think for situations like this where you're gonna have rolling waves, you're gonna have big water, it's a fantastic option. So is the Titan. Would you pick this or the Titan? I would say if you're a tall dude, this one's gonna be a little bit less stable for you. You kind of think, you gotta think like you're a pyramid out there, you know? If you got the wider base from like a Titan and you're really tall, you're gonna feel more comfortable on that. I'm not too tall, I'm like 5'10". This is a good little happy place for me, honestly. So that's my review, my initial review. Stand by, we'll have plenty more videos. We're gonna do a full setup eventually when everything gets all put on this thing, and probably a full on like unloading, loading, tips and tricks episode, you know, and we're gonna fish the piss out of it. So hope you guys enjoyed this absurd and fun review. We're not too serious around here, and I hope to see you in the next one. Adios.